All right, Rizzo and Jeff, really getting professional. Like, look, it's look like we're in a new studio, Jeff. We got all these decorations. It's sort of like the old studio a little bit.
Yeah, well, first off, this is what you call professional.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, look, when you look behind us, I think this is becoming more of our personality
Okay,
with things that we do.
okay.
Right? Don't you agree?
I think it's becoming our personality, but I also think, and as people tune in, make sure you're sharing the video. Today's a really big show. As you can see, we got everything all situated. We got everything all done. We're also doing this sort of like at an earlier time. So I don't know how well this is going to go, Jeff, because we usually do this later when people are home. Are people working? I mean, they can listen to the radio to an inferior show, in my opinion, or they could find the Rizzo and Jeff show.
Yeah. Well, look, I think that I think that you're thinking of a 9 to 5 thing, but I think times have changed.
Okay.
And I think people work very differently these days. So I think there's a space at any time of the day to go
Okay.
on and do this. A lot of shows do it.
Yeah, so the one thing that I'm a little, and I don't know if that's true, somebody says they can't hear us, so we want to work out these kinks before we get Senator Jeremy Cooney on. Baby Hands, can you hear us? Is everything good? Because we want to make sure that we are balls to the wall. What'd you say? We are good. Okay, all right.
Well,
You got us really worried there.
Right. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
We tickled there for a minute. Yeah.
So, Jeff, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. First and foremost, I do want to say we have the ability for people to call. And I'm going to give out the number 100 times. It's 585-209-9108. That's 585-209-9108. And pretty excited about that.
Yeah, look, I think it's a pretty awesome scenario. It took a little bit to put together. Obviously, behind me, you could see Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Behind you, a multicolored giraffe. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
But
We got
yeah.
the Chuck Mancuso foot bottle at the top.
Yeah, but being able to do this, and I think being able to take calls, which is, I think, our bread and butter, man. And we enjoy doing that the most. We went to work every day.
Yeah.
We prep the show. We put it together. But to be able to take the calls from listeners and have them come in, and they would say, do you need a phone screener? Do you need a phone screener? For what?
Right.
No. Call us. Let's go.
Oh
no
my
matter what it is.
Oh my goodness!
You know?
Sorry about that. We're all hooked up here. Sorry about that. No, we did. No, sorry. We didn't need a phone screener. We never, we never ever, got that. We never got the itch for the call screener.
Well, I didn't want to give up the money, to pay somebody else because I would have liked it. But
absolutely, I would have liked our own. So what I'm getting at, or what I'm getting is people they are not hearing the microphone sound. They are hearing just us having a discussion.
Okay.
So if you don't mind maybe regaling us with maybe your weekend tales as I maybe hook this up and get the microphone sound in there, if that's okay with you, sir.
I mean, have you ever lived in a place that is less than thou?
Well,
have you ever decided to yourself that, you know what, I want to save a couple of bucks, but I want to visit a place? So think to yourself, you know what? I want to visit Mexico.
Okay.
But then you say to yourself, I can't afford the Mexican, vacation, like a Cancun, like a Puerto Vallarta. But then you say to yourself, you know what? I'll just choose a house somewhere in Cancun.
Okay.
Not sure where it's at. Not sure what's happening. But you know what? I think I'll save a couple of bucks. Well, that's kind of what happened in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Well, you found a deal for like $60.
And what wound up happening in that scenario was that the place had 5 different rooms that you could stay in.
Well, so this was a house with like five different rooms.
So it's
okay.
So it's the cheapest of the places.
Okay.
But you have to begin to understand that you got to give up a little bit. For the
Okay.
price that you're going to pay.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So of the 5 rooms, it turned into a brouhaha.
Okay.
I guess one of the people and the fight that you had posted, they had been staying there for a month.
Okay.
And it was the guy and his girlfriend, and I guess he had brought a new girl home. She caught him in it.
But this was a rental, right? They didn't live there? Were these the people that lived there? Because again...
But of the 5 rooms...
Okay.
The one room that was rented offered long-term stay.
Okay, offered long-term stay.
So you could stay if you would like.
First off, is everything better now, everybody? And we have Senator Cooney coming on. You can give us a call, by the way, 585-209-9108. Make sure you're sharing.
I want to hear from Paula right now.
You know
I want Paula to call.
Paula, Zach, I actually wanted to. I do want to hear. Paula, can you call us 585-209-9108? I'd like to hear from Paula. And again, this is interesting, Jeff, because we've never done. Well, I was going to say we've never done our show this early. We have done our show this early, but it's on the air. So I'm interested to see how many people, and again, this podcast will be up on our Patreon and stuff like that. And a little bit will be up on YouTube, but I'm interested to see the reaction that we get at this time. Are people driving home? What are they doing?
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting with Senator, when the senator comes on, we're gonna talk about the casino and his opposition to it, which is
voted no,
which is surprising to me. And I told you that there's that old adage when you put a casino in a city that it's like kind of like that death knell, right? Like
that death knell.
It's over and you can just forget about it. So we'll see when he comes on.
I guess, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's me being cynical, and he's coming on in about 15 minutes or so. Maybe it's me being cynical, but, and I'd love to talk to you guys. And again, make sure you're liking and sharing the video. I know it's going to take a while to build up, and who knows how many people will watch this because we usually do this later. 585-209-9108. I'd like to talk to Paula because we have a call here, Jeff.
Okay. All right.
We have a call.
Yeah, and Mikey Champion wants to talk about pro wrestling. He wants us to put that forward about it being a combat sport a little bit. So,
hey guys,
what's going on, Paula? How you doing?
I thought I was not on your list anymore. I thought you guys weren't happy with me or something.
Oh,
why? What made you think that?
I don't know. I guess I made a comment a while ago, but let's not go over it. We're good. How are you guys?
We're fine, Paula.
No, Paula. Let's go over it. What was that comment?
We forget.
Yeah, we forget. So let's just.
It was a long time ago. I was just joking about Bert and Ernie, and people thought you were romantically involved before, and I made a bad comment. So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. It's okay, Paula.
Let's move on from that one.
No,
okay.
It's okay. You know what, though, Paula? I will say, it's been almost 3 months. We're coming up on our severance ending here. We're getting really worried. We have a lot of prospects, but, we really miss, you and everyone that watches and everything. We really miss, doing the show.
Yeah.
I
miss you guys. I miss you guys, too.
What are your thoughts on the afternoons? Obviously, we're not there anymore. I mean, so what are your thoughts on it when you listen? Do you listen?
Do you like the Rover situation? I mean, I know you love Weeze. I know you like John. Do you not like the non-local stuff?
Yeah, that's right. I like local stuff only. I like you guys. I miss you guys a lot.
Well, yeah, we miss you too. Well, and Weeze has a new grandbaby, which is
pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, little pretty thing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
he's back in town too.
I know. We heard from now. Yeah. Remember, Senator Jeremy Cooney's coming on, so I'm glad that you called to make sure that this works and everyone can hear it on Facebook. Now, let me ask you, if there was something you could ask him, what would you want to know? How do you feel about this Indian thing?
I don't like typical government. I don't like the way they're covering it up, but I wouldn't mind a casino in Rochester, but I think that you should involve the people that are living nearby. This behind-the-door deal.
Okay,
I don't think that was so great.
Yeah, let me ask you. So, what do you like a casino downtown? And let's not just be silly here. You understand the clientele that is downtown. Do you think it would be a safe place for people? I mean, would you come to it if they put it here?
Well, it's kind of like the old Yankee Stadium in Bronx. That was in a really bad area, but Yankee Stadium was safe. So I think within the enclave and just the perimeter of the casino, it would be safe. But beyond that, I don't think that would change anything.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Hey, listen, we're like a block and a half away from where they want it, and I know some of the riffraff. But, Paul, it's so good to hear from you, and thank you for calling.
Yeah, we miss you, Paula, for sure.
Yeah, thanks for calling me out. No problem.
No problem. Take it easy.
Bye, guys.
Hey, take it easy. And again, if you want to give us a call, okay, very simple, 585-209-9108. Make sure you're sharing. Senator Cooney's coming on soon. He's going to be calling. We got it all, Jeff. We got Rosie. We got Chuck Mancuso's shit. We got, so just call us. Tell us.
Mikey Champion, Mikey Champion, listen. Rosie was a gift, and Rosie has now been nailed to a wall.
Well, which by her Subaru lesbianic hair.
Right. The Paula Poundstone hair. She was there. Her hair helped hold her to the wall. So
and before we get into this shit with Senator Cooney, again, we'd love to hear from you. If you guys have watched us and you wanted to talk to us, you used to call us. You can call us at 585-209-9108. I really want to hear from some of you. Jeff, we kind of were, when I was fixing this here, and we had it all figured out now. You found a hotel for $62 for 4 days. Yeah. That's what you did.
Yeah.
Why?
Money. One.
Money.
Two, because I thought that I had an idea of the city.
Okay.
I hadn't been to Philadelphia. I go to Philly, and you know that. I
travel there often. Visit your mother, of course.
But I travel, over the bridge. I go to Jersey, things like that. But I spent a lot of time in the city. I lived in, Philly and things of that nature.
Right.
So you don't know the area until you roll back into it a little bit, in a sense.
Okay.
But everything's about saving money. So you say to yourself, you know what? If I could just do this for a couple of nights, I can survive. I bring a fan. You read the reviews, and the reviews are kind of split down the middle.
Okay.
So it's bring your own toilet paper.
Okay.
Bring your own towel.
Oh, so you had to bring.
The whole gamut.
You had to bring everything.
The whole gamut. Right.
Wow.
Right. So bring a fan. It can be a little hot. It wasn't terrible. It's not like the weather was horrific, but in July that would be a nightmare to be there. But didn't expect that one night to turn into a complete nightmare.
The videos that you sent me were scary, and for those of you that are just tuning in, I have some audio that I'm gonna be playing for you, and it scared me. I thought you were gonna be murdered. There were two actually, and I thought it was bad here, but we have the first one here.
Well,
all right, real Okay. Now this. Oh. That sounded extremely violent. And
what that turned into, as the cleaning crew came in the next day, even the cleaning lady said, "Jesus Christ, they let anybody stay in here." Right. This is unbelievable. Why am I doing this job? And it was nothing but broken glass. So what I believe happened in that situation is that I think that he met a young lady, and she came back after the club night, and then it just totally bombed. It didn't work out the way that she thought.
So coming up, I will have Senator Jeremy Cooney on. I know a lot of people they sent me emails about it, questions, and I know a lot of people, whether it was through the Patreon or through our podcast, I know our podcast got a whole hell of a lot of downloads, but I'd be interested to see what he thinks, because Jeff, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I saw that he was, checking in or watching, and you know what, babe, can you do me a favor? I guess it's a little, or what time is it? It's a little early, but I see that he's watching here, and make sure that people are liking or sharing. But for this podcast, Jeff, I believe that you sent me what seems to be the issue, but I think it's a little more simple than that. It says that an update from Governor Kathy Hochul's office is that the administration is working with the Seneca Nation of Indians and the legislature to make sure there's an agreement that's fair and serve the interests of all parties and addresses the needs of the stakeholders. Am I not correct? And we've had over 1,000 people download our last podcast. Am I not correct that if you give land back to the Native Americans, it becomes their land?
Yeah, look,
right?
It's kind of what I know, and in being down in Tampa Bay, I know that we gave the Hard Rock Casino to the Seminole Indians down there,
Seminole Hard Rock,
Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and
right,
Casino that's down in Tampa,
right.
and it's very controlled by them.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So this happening downtown and happening here, and I think that there's so many steps that have to go into this before you begin to jump into it. And I think a lot of the situation that's happening in the Senator, if you're watching, I think that you know this, that there's a lot of things that have to be discussed before we just start throwing a casino into place. We want the local government to be a part of this.
Well, and by the way, if it's easier, instead of calling, I can just bring you on the video because it will run through our podcast, which is on all platforms, including Patreon and iHeartRadio and Spotify, Spreaker, and all of that. I know, we usually do the show later because people are working, but the downloads and stuff especially. So we've got some questions. It would be interesting, though, because it seems to me, and maybe I'm wrong, and this is why I wanted to have them on, that the people are angry because doesn't everyone get a little bit of a cut? Am I wrong? And this is not a knock. Am I wrong that people are pissed off that they're not getting a cut?
Well, look,
I don't know.
My assumption is that everybody wants to be involved in the conversation.
Okay.
Before you start making major decisions.
Okay.
And you would think, and the governor likes to come in and talk about how we're going to give thousands or millions of dollars.
10 million to Maine and all that ridiculousness.
So we can come into town and we can talk about that. But when you want to drop a casino directly into the city, we can't sit and have a conversation. The mayor can't speak about it. Nobody could speak about it. Right. There's a quote unquote NDA.
That's
all
right.
Those types of things.
Right.
So I think there's a part of that that is confusing to people.
And that's what. And what I'll do is I'll send an invitation in 1 second for Senator Cooney to join. But people were protesting. People were upset. And is it more that it's that? And again, I don't know. That they're going to lose land. You even said the mark of a dying city, and maybe he could, clarify this. You would think that if a city's,
I don't think that it's. I don't think that it's so much that anybody's throwing their hands up to not have the casino here.
Okay.
I think that it's a cooperation thing, and I think that it's about having everybody involved in the situation. We want to have you here. We want to all sit down and talk. Why can we not know about what's happening and what's going on? And I think that's more of the conversation and the thing that is more bothersome than anything else. Like, why are we being held up and not being involved in this? And until we're talking about then I'm not in.
Yeah, I'm with you. And just a couple of minutes away, I'd be interested to hear from Senator Cooney if you're watching, whether it's Aaron or whatever. Make sure you're sharing the video because people are working. And I figured, a lot of people download our podcast and listen on the ride home. We're broadcasting live on many platforms, but I thought there's nobody in town, and this is not a knock on anyone. There's nobody in town who thinks to go, hey, John Smith, what the hell's happening here? Hey, whatever, what the hell's happening here? What are you doing with, why are we not thinking out? Why are we not going to these? Why are we not videoing these protests? Why? And aside, I'd love to, if we have time, I'd love to say to Senator Cooney, who will be on here soon, hey, we got people dealing crack outside.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean? Look, I'm not sure he could fix that situation. I mean, one step at a time here.
Right.
He's no dare dog.
Well, he is no dare dog.
He's no dare dog, and we know that. So kind of one step at a time. But look, I think this is a monumental decision.
Oh yeah.
To just totally place a business.
Oh yeah. In the middle of
downtown, without involving anybody, and just kind of
so it's just like,
hey,
we're giving this land to businesses here. Is that what I'm to understand?
Well, that's basically like somebody calling, Joanne, our friend, and saying, "Oh, hi, Joanne. By the way, here's the deal. We're putting a Burger King on your front lawn, and guess what? And you better be prepared because a lot of people are coming through because they want those 2 for $5, Junior Whoppers." 585-209-9108. That is the number to call. We are taking calls live. 585
209-9108. Senator Cooney should be joining us literally at any time. Let me just triple check.
And he's usually a timely gentleman.
He is a timely gentleman. Let me see. Now, I saw him check in on the FB. I invited him. I guess he's getting busy or whatever. But he's always been let me just say, been a timely gentleman. I'll text his. He's
a busy boy.
He is a busy boy. Although, you know what? And I don't understand what. Oh, speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have Senator Jeremy Cooney on the phone. Senator Cooney, hello?
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Doing a little experimenting, Facebook, YouTube, whatnot. But, we wanted to have you on because you've always been a friend and been able to answer people's questions about stuff. And you seem to, and I mean this in a positive way, kind of explain it so dummies like Jeff and me can understand.
Well, I do my best.
All right. So from what we're trying to understand, and maybe you could help the people to kind of understand it across all platforms. We're on there right now at the moment. So is it, to put it in layman's terms, I'm going to try to do that. The governor and the Seneca Nation want to put a casino downtown. They don't want to involve the local government. You have a problem with it.
Well, that's half correct.
Okay, all right.
And I definitely have a problem with it. So let me break it down what the latest and greatest is when it comes to the casino.
Okay.
So what we know at this point is that the Seneca Nation, which is an independent, sovereign nation, has expressed interest in having a casino gaming operation someplace in what they call the Rochester market. Now, that could mean Pittsburgh. That could mean downtown Rochester. That could mean Geneva. So, we're trying to figure out what the heck do they mean with Rochester market. But let's assume, for all intents and purposes, they want to have a casino in downtown Rochester because, as you may or may not know, about 10 years ago, we were having the same conversation about the Senecas having an interest in building a casino right in the middle of downtown on Parcel 5.
That's what I thought
right
it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of what people think. They're still interested in that. You are correct, though, that there was no heads up. There was no discussion or negotiation with Mayor Evans or any member of the city council, let alone any of the state delegation who represents Rochester in Albany, who would have to vote to authorize this compact.
Why? Why do you think that is?
It's this craziest thing because, whenever we want to do anything that impacts a local municipality, whether it's on Long Island or whether it's up here in Rochester, we have to go through hoops to show that the local governments are all on board. Maybe we pass a resolution in a city council or something, right? So we have to prove that whatever we're doing at the state level to a local municipality is okay with them. But in this case, we skipped over that whole process, which is ridiculous to me, and that's why I voted no.
Okay, let me ask you, do you think that if they were going to plop one into the middle of Manhattan, that Mayor Adams would know it was happening or no?
100%. And in fact, I actually said that exact example when I spoke with members of the governor's team. I said, we both know that if this was planned for New York City, that you would have had to give Mayor Adams and his administration a heads up. And, why is that same privilege not afforded to Mayor Malik Evans? That's ridiculous. Well, What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Amen. And for those of you just tuning in, we're speaking with Senator Jeremy Cooney. We're going to get into his Nova. We're talking about this casino. That is supposedly, I thought, was in downtown Rochester, but I guess I learned, or you said, in the Rochester market. So they are asking to put it anywhere, meaning it could be Fairport, it could be Webster, it could be Irondequoit, it could be downtown. We don't know, is what you're saying. Is that kind of part of the issue here?
That's correct. I mean, how are we supposed to vote on something where we don't even know where the heck this thing's going to be?
Yeah, and I think that you guys would be kind of behind it because if you were involved in the conversations
Right.
and you guys were privy to a lot of things that were going on, I think that you're not dumb to know that it would create a lot of jobs. It would help out a lot of things. Unions would be involved in building it. It would be great for the area and the community. But just you guys not being involved, why do you think that is? That
They don't want
the
you
governor,
involved.
that the governor, who by the way was just here a couple of months ago, talking about
Revitalizing
Clinton
Rochester.
and Maine and all those kind of things. Why is this not kind of a part of the conversation?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was, again, I'm not privy to the negotiation table, obviously, but my understanding is that this was something that the Seneca Nation really, really wanted. And so when they're trying to negotiate with the state of New York about what the tax revenue sharing will be between the Indian Nation or Native American tribe and the state of New York, right, each side has to give something. So maybe the state of New York gets a better tax deal out of the negotiation if they allow the Seneca Nation to come into the Rochester market.
But is the Seneca Nation not, and so I apologize, I thought I was, so is the Seneca Nation, would they not, and again, I don't understand this, and
yeah, that's why
you're
there and we're here.
Would that not be their land? So we say, okay, you can have it. I'm using an example. Parcel 5. That becomes the Seneca Nations. That means they have their own police. They don't have to do taxes.
Is that how it works?
They don't have to have unions, builders. I mean, isn't that kind of the deal?
That's exactly right, which is why these types of decisions can't be done in...
What's going on, everyone? Rizzo from the Rizzo and Jeff Show. If you want to check out the rest of the interview with Senator Jeremy Cooney, you can do so. Head over to Patreon. All you got to do is just search Rizzo and Jeff Show, or you go to our Facebook, Rizzo and Jeff Show, on all platforms. You click the link there. You subscribe. You can hear all that cool stuff, all the interviews with all the big people, some behind-the-scenes stuff, some crazy videos, some stuff going on at home, all that stuff. So make sure you head over to the Patreon. Help us, listen, we're underemployed. We need your help. Thank you to Senator Jeremy Cooney. And for those of you, we hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the other side of the Patreon. And by the way, shit gets crazy.